All right, geography basics. So your EQ for today, right? That essential question is, how does geography help us understand societies? Remember, societies was one of our vocabulary words as just a group of people. Okay, so we're going to talk about how does understanding how the world is help us figure out what's going on with different groups of people. So, geography, that is the study of the Earth's features and how civilizations interact with each other. So remember, I know I promised I was going to underline those bold words, and I did not do that in this, and I apologize. But you need to go ahead and if you need to fill in the blank and type in or write in interact in each other, then go ahead and do that. If you're a highlighter, just go ahead and highlight. So that is how people interact with what is happening on the world physically. So things that are looked at or things that we analyze, those are going to be push-pull factors. We're going to talk about what that means in a little bit. Demographic changes, cultural connections, right? We talked about culture yesterday, food, dialects, languages, right? And then you're also going to talk about forced and voluntary migrations. Okay, those might be some things that you remember from sixth grade. They might be new. If you need to pause this, go ahead and pause it so you can go ahead and answer or fill in your blanks if you need to fill in your blanks or highlight. So some questions that we're going to ask when we talk about those social studies lenses that we look at historical events with. Those lenses, yesterday we talked about behavioral science, today's geography. So some questions we might ask. Where is it happening, right? Where in the world? Could be a broad continent, like those things that the continents we talked about with the map, could be a smaller country, could be a specific city. How do we use or interact with it? Okay, this could be resources, could be aspects of culture, could be a lot of things, but how do we use something and how do we kind of interact with it, and whether we talk about it, we use it in some other form or fashion, right? We look at it, we talk about it. Why is it important to us? And how does the landscape, right, the physical features of the earth, influence the event or that group of people? Okay, I know this part's not in your notes, same thing as yesterday, just some things for you to think about. So, that very first question, remember in your notes that box. Why do you think geography changes over time? I'm going to give you a minute, right? Go ahead, write in what you think the answer could be. Okay? Why do you think that geography is going to change over time? If you need to pause it so that you can have an extra second to write something down, go ahead and pause it. So, geography changes over time because people are constantly changing. You guys are never the same, right? How you were in sixth grade is not how you are this year. When you see my eighth graders come back and visit, right? They are different than how they were last year when they were in seventh grade. You are constantly changing. You as an individual, and then large groups of people are also constantly changing. And geography is impacted by the people living in that area. Okay, so depending on how land is developed, other things are developed, that's going to impact the geography of that area. There are some different themes in geography that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about physical features. We're going to talk about cultural features, right? There's that word culture that we just talked about. We're going to talk about human environment interactions and migration. Okay. I'm going to stop the video here. There's going to be another video for the next part of your notes. Make sure that you have highlighted the important information that was highlighted in this video in the slideshow, and make sure that if you need to fill in the blank, you go ahead and fill in those blanks, and you go ahead and answer that question when you need to.